Hello, I am Macintosh G4. Introduced July 2000, discontinued July 2001, production suspended indefinitely. I will show you now how you could boot and run macOS 9.2 housed in an 8-inch cube. The PowerMac G4 cube combined the elegance of the iMac with the power of the PowerMac G4. The cube traded expandability for its diminutive size. There were no PCI slots, and while the graphics card was installed into an 2x8 GP slot, there wasn't room for full-length GP cards. With the exception of PCI expansion, the cube was as versatile as its larger G4 cousin. Came with 3 RAM slots, an airport card slot, and 2 USB and FireWire ports. The cube shipped to retail markets with a 450 MHz G4 processor, a 20 GB hard drive, a 56 kbps modem, 64 MB of RAM, and Apple S Pro mouse for $1,799. Another configuration was available through the Apple Store, with the 500 MHz G4, a 30 GB hard drive and 128 MB of RAM, for $2,299. Gigabit Ethernet was available as a BTO option. The cube was not nearly the success that Apple had hoped it would be. The consensus was that Apple had misjudged the market, making the cube an expensive, luxury computer instead of a cheaper monitorless iMac. In February 2001, the cube received a feature and price change. The low-end configuration was repriced at $1,299. A better configuration was made available, with a CDRW drive and 128 MB of RAM, for $1,599. Finally, the high-end version got a 60 GB hard drive, 256 MB of RAM, a CDRW drive and an 32 MB NVIDIA GeForce 2MX video card, and sold for $2,199. Now obsolete. Original OS Mac OS 9.0.4 Maximum OS Mac OS 10.4.11 Bundled Software Mac OS 9.1 QuickTime, iMovie 2, iTunes, AppleWorks, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Microsoft Outlook Express, Netscape Communicator, FAXSTF, Palm Desktop, Chrome Rally, Bugdom, and Nanosour Software, Apple Hardware Test CD. Maximum memory 1.5 GB, memory slots 3. Graphics card ADI Rage 128 Pro, Radeon, or NVIDIA GeForce 2MX. Ethernet 100 BASE-D or 1000 BASE-D modem 56K USB. 2. 12 megabits per second FireWire. 2. 400 megabits per second, 12 watt total power. I will now show you how easily I can run Windows 95 on emulator under macOS 9.2. Microsoft Office 98 runs very well. I will show you now how to change boot up operating system under macOS 9.2. I will now boot up under macOS 10.3 and show you around a little bit. After showing you how to change boot up system from macOS 10.3 to macOS 9.2, I will show you how nicely you could run macOS 9 software under classic environment on macOS 10.3. This feature was also supported under macOS 10.4 and later it was discontinued. Classic environment only works on Macintosh computers with PowerPC chips. Look how nicely you can run Mac OS 9 or older software under the classic environment. Some veteran Macintosh users still use some software for Mac OS 9, and the most powerful Macintosh computer that can boot up from Mac OS 9.2 is the PowerMac Dual Mir 1.25 MHz with dual processor. I hope that you enjoyed this small presentation where you can clearly see how versatile the G4 is. This G4 has 1 GB of RAM, 450 MHz PowerPC chip, and a 110 GB hard drive. Thank you for your attention. Hope to see you soon on other presentations.